You're listening to The Dangerous Mind of Mark Yoshimoto Nemkov. No excuses, no BS, no pants.
Ladies and gentlemen, guys and dolls, welcome to the debut of the SE Electronics Neom on the Microphone Playboy podcast. How you guys doing today? A USB mic, you say. Why? Why a USB mic? Well, because I've been curious. I've been USB curious. Have you ever been USB curious? Mostly I've been USB-C curious. I'll explain that in a moment. But lately, I came back from vacation, and I did that. I did do a voiceover on vacation, just one little quick voiceover on vacation. What did it take me? 5 minutes? It was no big deal. It took me longer to set up my rig than it did to actually do the job, but that's no big deal, right? Now the question I had, even though my travel rig was really very small, I had the Zoom F3, which is very small. The thing is what, like 4 inches by 4 inches by like 3 inches? It's tiny. And I had one of the DIY ORS 87 Nanos, little TLM 103 size thing. It's kind of in between a TLM 102 and a 103. So it's a little teeny tiny mic with a big sound. And even though that wasn't a big deal, right, I had to bring a mic cable too. And I realized that the couple of times that I set it up just to, mess around with it, like at the airport or here, it was like one of those things where it's like, okay, plug in the mic, plug in the thing. And then if you want to use the Zoom as an interface instead of just recording to it, because it is a recorder too, which makes it pretty cool. If you want to use it just as an interface, you have to go in every time you turn it on, you have to go and set it up as an interface. It's like 4 or 5 button clicks. No big deal. Really, this is a first world problem I'm talking about. But, it's an extra additional steps. And I always feel like everything you add to the equation, everything, is going to possibly fail on you, especially when you need it most, especially when you're away from home, right? So this whole thought that wait a second, I only brought one XLR cable, and it was a short one. It was a little shorty, 2 foot long one. I only brought one. And I thought to myself, man, I'm somewhere. I'm on the big island of Hawaii, and I know there must be a music store somewhere. But I don't know where it is, and I don't know how far away it is. And where I am, it may have been like an hour drive to go find an XLR cable somewhere. It's not like you can just go to Walgreens or Longstrugs or something and go pick up an XLR cable. But you can pick up a USB cable almost anywhere. So I thought to myself, well, you know what? What about USB mics? Are they any good? Are they good enough to gig with? Right? Because that's a consideration that I hadn't really thought of, because I always thought that USB mics were inferior sonically. And I think that goes back to hearing some older USB mics from previous generations. It sounds like I'm like, the boomer USB mics. Those were terrible. No, the last time I heard a USB mic, it was a couple of years ago. And it was a cheapy one. It was Bifaily had sent me one, and I hated it, which is why you never heard it on this channel. I was like, this may be okay if I'm streaming, and I need to just communicate with somebody or an emergency situation, but I can never use it on a gig. Is there a USB mic out there that you could use on a gig? Is there one that sounds good enough that you could gig with? Maybe it would need a little manipulation. Like what you're going to hear now is this mic with hush on it, because there's definitely noise, and I'm not in my booth. I'm in my office. So there's definitely ambient noise, and it's in the morning, so I can hear a little bit. I can hear cars and trucks going by and stuff. In the distance, I can hear, but the microphone is very sensitive, and it's picking that up. It also does not have a low cut. So, I'm kind of curious as to what kind of rumble it's going to get. So I'm going to have to mitigate the whole thing with hush. And that's okay, because as long as I have hush on my laptop and a USB connection from this mic, I'm thinking, could I gig with it? Could I gig with this rig? That should be a segment. Can you gig with this rig? So let me know. I want to use your ears as a focus group here. Consider this your opportunity to tell me what you think of this sound and USB mics in general. Do you like the sound of the Neom? I think it's pretty cool. And you know what I found out? I found out the name Neom, right? It seems like a random, remember in the days of the internet when people were just making up words? Because you couldn't buy the domain for something like that actually existed. All those domains had been purchased. So people are making up words. Neom sounded like a made-up word, and I realized, wait a second, no, it's not. Neom actually is derived from the word neo, meaning new, which I believe is Greek, and also the M added to the end of it is an Arabic construct that is it's an abbreviation. I don't know, I forget what the word is, but it means future, right? So it's like Neom is, get it? It's like new future. That's actually what the name implies. That's what the name means, Neom. And I believe there's actually a big city, a man-made city being built out in the desert in the Persian Gulf. I think Saudi Arabia is spending like $1.5 trillion to build a city out in the desert, and they're calling it Neom. And it's going to be this like advanced tech city, and it better have air conditioning everywhere, because this summer it's been 150 degrees. The heat index has been 150 degrees out there. So it better be a big dome city underneath a lot of air conditioning. But hey, I'm just worried about this mic. So what do you think? What do you think of the first listen of the SC Electronics Neom? Now, I'm not sure. I haven't really used this mic at all. I just kind of plugged it in. I just got it a couple of days ago. SC sent it over. Very nice of them. Because I was asking about it. I was like, so what's the deal? And they're like, you want to try it? I'm like, well, it's the only way to know. The only way to ever know if a mic works for you is to try it in your own space. And really, as much as you can listen to other people's demos, you got to realize that the only thing that's going to work for you to figure out if a mic is your mic is to have it in your space, run it through your rig, and do your thing. All right? And the other thing too, luckily I sound good on every mic. I know, breaking my arm, patting myself on the back yet again. So you can't really judge if a mic works for you based upon how well it works for me. But if your voice is similar, if your voice print is similar to mine, then you may get similar results. And I have to tell you something right away. One of the first things I'm noticing with this mic, and I'm not really even talking loud into it. I'm kind of holding my voice back a little bit, only because it's early in the morning. And I just finished my warm-ups. I don't feel like really projecting hard into it yet. I'm just doing this kind of more of a conversational level speech because I have a gig. I have a gig doing where I have to speak kind of like this, very low conversationally, very casually. So I'm actually just warming up that voice. But if you listen to this, right? It's really capturing something in my resonance that some of my other mics really don't do. And I wonder if it's this capsule. I wonder what the capsule. I'm not going to open this mic up because I'm terrified. A regular mic I'll open up at a drop of a hat. I'm not afraid to open up a regular mic. But this one with the USB circuit in it, and I like it. If I hated it, I'd open it up and gut it. I'd examine it like it was like an alien that landed at Roswell, and I was the Department of Defense. Oh, and my USB-C curiosity stems from the fact that I've heard that with the newer iPhones that have ditched the Lightning connector and have a USB-C connection, and I think the iPads too, that you can power a USB mic from your phone so you can record to your phone. So with Twisted Wave Mobile, I can record directly to that. And the only thing I would have to figure out, the only thing that would be missing from a mobile rig right to your phone is to figure out how to do noise reduction and possible de-essing and processing. So someone needs to create a mobile DAW that uses like regular VST and AU plugins or something like that. And then I think we'd be in business. Or if I could use Hush on mobile or find a solution that would work on mobile. So in summary, I'm pleased with this sound through my headphones, through my IEMs here. But what do you think? What do you think of this mic? What do you think of the SE Electronics Neom? I'm going to do more testing with this mic, but I just wanted to give you a first listen real quick. All right? Let me know. Leave a comment. Until next time, this is Mark Yoshimoto Nemkov on the SE Electronics Neom, fading the black.
Neom, 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 Neom. I keep humming this tune. Neom, Neom, Neom. Into this mic I'll croon. I thought mics through USB were not really for me, until I met the SE Electronics Neom. Neom, 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 Neom. I thought mics that are USB were not really for me, till I met the SE Electronics Neom. Neom, Neom, Neom.